Well, they finally got the fans off the field. It took them all week. The celebration continues, but it's time to get back to business. Arkansas ranked 20th in the country, back home for the third straight weekend, taking on Georgia Southern. Dave Neal, Deuce McAllister, Andrea Carter down the sideline. She'll join us in a minute, but Deuce, I'll start with you. How in the world has this man been able to bring the energy, excitement back to Arkansas football so quickly?
They have taken on his mentality. He's an old offensive line coach who has finally got his chance to be a head coach. They run the football outstanding, and then they will hit you on defense. That's what Arkansas football is all about.
Student body ready to go on this afternoon kickoff at Reynolds Razorback Stadium on a gorgeous afternoon for some football. Arkansas won the toss. They defer, so Georgia Southern will get it first. Sam Pittman said his guys had one bad day of practice, but felt like he got that straightened out on Tuesday. Guys didn't come out exactly like they were, or the coaching staff was hoping they would, but he said we had a little talk, and Wednesday they were back to business as usual. And this is one of those games people have said, you hear it all the time, trap game, right? Texas A&M on the horizon. How will the team respond after the Texas victory last weekend? I think a lot of folks around the country wondering that same question as well. So we are underway. Najee Thompson back to return this kick that will sail through the end zone. As mentioned, Andrea Carter down on the sidelines. Let's go down to her right now. Well, this defense is going to be stressed today against Georgia Southern.
Yeah, Dave, and when you talk defense, you have to talk about the linebacker unit. I talked to Hayden Henry. He led the team in tackles against Texas, and he said it is so fun because it's like a race to see who can get to the football first. If I can't get there, I know Grant or Bumper will. He's super excited to be a part of this team. They compete every day in practice, and head coach Sam Pittman agrees the linebackers are the core to the entire team. There's no jealousy among them.
Well, it was such a great performance all the way around last weekend. They'll try to duplicate that here. First play of the game, a handoff off the left side. Not much happening there for Georgia Southern, a team that comes in 1-1. But they do get a quarterback back that they certainly were hoping was going to be there at the beginning of the year. Justin Tomlin had to sit out the first 2 weeks for academic reasons. He's back on the field. He's able to practice with the team. He will get the majority of snaps today. Gerald Green runs right into Trey Williams. Nothing happening there. A loss of a yard. And there are the numbers on this young man. A lot expected of him today on the road.
Definitely a lot expected of him. And it'll be interesting to see how he reads this Arkansas defense on some of the things that they try to do. This will be assignment football. You have to have gap integrity and make sure that you're doing your job from a defensive standpoint.
Third down and 10. They'll hand it off again. It's Green. He stretches it outside, but he is flipped up, literally flipped on his head by Monteric Brown with the big tackle. No gain on the play, and a 3-and-out for the Eagles.
Nice job outside, and they just push this ball outside. Your defense does an outstanding job. Brown does an outstanding job of being able to come up and make that tackle when you talk about support from your cornerback.
Anthony Beck will punt it away, averaging 41.5 yards per punt. Nathan Perotti back at the 31-yard line of Arkansas. The Hawks should have really good field position. They bring the house, and Georgia Southern just does get it away. Perotti will return it from the 21. He gets it out to the 26, maybe 27-yard line. So 6-yard return on a good punt there of 52 yards. So here comes this Arkansas offense, and K.J. Jefferson gets the football, and boy, is he off to a good start through 2 games, Deuce.
He's off to a really good start, and, I think when you look at K.J. Jefferson, one of the things that a lot of people will nitpick about as far as this offense not pushing the football down the field, I think at the end of the day, they want to win. They have playmakers on the outside. Burks is one of those guys that I think will show up big, but K.J. Jefferson, he really is the engine that makes this offense run.
Last week, 14 of 19 through the air. Rushed 10 times for 73 yards. Steps up in the pocket, going deep. Has a man wide open, and a catch is made around the 25-yard line. Tyson Morris somehow broke free from that Georgia Southern secondary, and that is a huge gain. They'll spot it at the 26-yard line, a 58-yard pickup.
That's exactly how you want your young quarterback to be able to start a game.
On the ground, they'll run it with Smith.
There's KJ Jefferson sitting in the pocket, and it's just, I don't know if it's lack of communication. He expected to have safety help, but no one was there, and that's a young Bride that was on the coverage on that previous play.
2nd down and 5. Here's Smith. He's to the 15, falls forward down to the 13. That's good enough for a first down, a 9-yard pickup, who rushed for 75 yards on 12 carries last week.
Really nice job, Traylon Smith, being able to run this stretch play and get outside, cut it back inside. Those guys up front moving people already.
Another handoff to Smith. Huge hole. He will scoot into the end zone. 13-yard touchdown run for Smith. His 3rd rushing touchdown of the season.
This is a really beautiful job by Arkansas, being able to pull the right guard Limmer as well as their tackle, and there's no one that's going to touch Smith here as he's able just to run in untouched into the end zone.
Cam Little will attempt this point after. Reed Bauer with the hold. Snap is clean, and the point after is good. That was quick. 7-0 Hogs. For Traylon Smith, 13-yard touchdown run gives Arkansas the early 7-0 lead. Dave Neal alongside former Ole Miss running back and NFLer with the Saints. Deuce McAllister and Deuce Kendall-Briles said he wanted to get off to a fast start in this one. They've had a couple of mishaps early in games.
Yeah, and that's definitely a fast start when you talk about four overall plays and you're able to take the distance under a minute or under 2 minutes, and so that's always a good recipe for an offense.
Yeah, that was about as good as you could get. Big play out of the passing game to start it off and turn it over to the run game for the touchdown. As we take a look at keys to victory, brought to you by our boys at Barbecue Guys. And certainly for Georgia Southern, this is not the start they wanted, but they want to control the clock. Listen, last year they averaged almost 31 seconds between plays, so they can chew up some clock, obviously, and they're going to need to do that. Arkansas, explosive plays, already seen that, Deuce.
Yeah, we've definitely seen the explosive plays, and you talk about Arkansas, you can't overlook this moment. You can't be focused on the next week as far as the overall game is concerned. You have to take care of what your business is today, and when you talk about the Eagles, they have to do a better job of at least slowing down that front four for Arkansas.
Amari Jones in the game at running back. He is the Swiss Army knife for this team. Quarterback, running back, receiver. He'll take the pass out to the 29-yard line. Jalen Catalon, the All-American, making a play, but a 4-yard pickup. A flag is down in the backfield. Matt Leffler, our referee today.
Personal foul, hands to the face on the defense, number 55. 15 yards into the other run. First down.
Well, there's a fortunate break for the Eagles as they'll get the bonus 15 yards after Trey Williams got a little high with his hands. There is a look at Georgia Southern's head coach Chad Lunsford. 8-5 a year ago, went 4-4 in the Sun Belt, but off to a little sluggish start. It took them a while to get past their opener, Gardner-Webb. They won 30-25 and then got smoked last week by Florida Atlantic on the road, 38-6. Justin Tomlin couldn't handle the snap, falls on it, but that'll be a loss of about 4 on the play. Anytime
that you run that triple option offense, you have to be really good with the football. And so there time you see Tomlin, he sticks it into the running back's lap, but he ends up pulling it out. And so he and Logan Wright have to make sure that they do a great job as far as being able to read some of the looks, particularly when the quarterback is pulling the ball out.
Logan Wright now in the backfield on this option offense. He'll get the pitch here. Strung out nicely, but a good stiff arm by Logan Wright. At least gets a couple of yards on the play. Fouché came up to make the stop. First one there for the Hogs.
See Georgia Southern running a little option there out of the shotgun, and ball handling will be so critical. You talk about Fouché making that play there, and it's assignment football. I mean, whether it's the safety being able to pick up the back or whomever it is, you have to have your assignment down.
Third down and long. Arkansas bringing the house. Tomlin trying to scamper for some positive yards. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be a 4th down coming up for the Eagles. Fouché First one there along with Greg Brooks. Gain of just 2.
And you see Arkansas, the pressure being able to get, you have Trey Williams coming off of the edge, and they are able to flush Tomlin there out of the pocket and never really got his eyes up to look downfield to find anybody. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage.
Brooks, no rush this time. High kick. That will hit at the 5, take a fantastic Georgia Southern bounce, and it'll be down right around the 5-yard line. A 53-yard kick. Arkansas scored quickly. They get it for the second time today.
The fragrance destination.
Georgia Southern Eagles making their way to Fayetteville, Arkansas. Bringing some tradition with them at the FCS level. Of course, Irk Russell started this program. Literally had nothing to start with. No practice field, no stadium, no nothing, but won 3 national championships. They won another one in 1990. Former Georgia Tech coach Paul Johnson, before he went to Atlanta, won a couple of national titles in Statesboro, Georgia, and southeast part of the state. 6 FCS championships, but it all goes back to Irk Russell. He's the one who created this, the late, great coach who was an assistant with Vince Dooley at Georgia. For more on that, let's go down to Andrea.
Yeah, Dave, Chad Lunsford gives a lot of credit to Irk Russell. He had this hat on in our meetings this week. Says, Irk, just one more time. That's the motto. You can bow up on defense. You can make a play on offense just one more time. That's what he wants his team to do today, guys.
Yeah, they need to get a stop. They didn't get it that first time around. Arkansas marched it straight down the field in 4 plays for a touchdown. Let's see what the Eagles have in store here. Smith will take it off the left side. But this program, by the way, Georgia Southern, jumped into the FBS in 2014. They actually had a pretty impressive win. Their last game as an FCS team was in 2013, and they beat Florida. Here's Jefferson, nowhere to go, wrapped up there. Nice play defensively by Anthony Wilson.
And talking to Coach Pittman, that was one of the things that he alluded to. They wanted to run KJ Jefferson early in this game. That helps with his confidence. When you have a 4-play drive, you can't really run the football a lot, particularly with your quarterback. Their second drive, they do get that opportunity here.
Georgia Southern able to get a defender off. Substitution. Here is Rocket Sanders off the left side. His first carry, only a yard. So the Eagles do present a 4th down situation. And here comes the Arkansas punt team.
Better job defensively there by the Eagles, being able to gang tackle. You had a 1-back power situation from the Razorbacks, and they're not able to pick up the first down.
Reed Bauer back to punt to Caleb Hood, who stands right around midfield. A flag is down. This kick will sail out of bounds. We'll wait on this flag, however. They will end up spotting it at the 44 if it holds.
I think that's going to be offsides against the Eagles. That's an automatic first down for Arkansas.
Offside on the defense, number 6. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
That is just devastating.
That's definitely tough, and I'm sorry, David, it wasn't an automatic first down. The yardage was enough for them to be able to pick up a first down, and so if you're the Eagles, after giving up 4-play touchdown the first drive, and Najee Thompson is the guy that was caught in the neutral zone in that particular play, that defense has to come back out on the field and come up with another stop. And Coach Lunsford is not happy whatsoever on the sideline for Georgia Southern.
Well, coming up at 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central tonight, LSU back at home. They'll host Central Michigan, our SEC Saturday night matchup presented by T-Mobile. Tom Hart, Jordan Rogers, Cole Kublik on the call tonight. Coming your way at 7:30. Max Johnson running the show offensively. Has 3 passing touchdowns in each of his last 4 games. All starts for the LSU offense. Here is KJ Jefferson. He's driving 3-4 white jerseys out close to the 35-yard line.
Nice job, KJ Jefferson. This is the play that they scored a touchdown on. This time he pulls the football, and that's a load to take down when you talk about 240 at the quarterback position.
Gain of 17. Looking to throw. Decides to tuck it, and he is hit and dropped at the line of scrimmage. Boy, Deuce, that's got to be deflating, right? You get a 3-and-out, force a punt. You're going to have decent field position. It was right near midfield, and now your defense is back out there. I mean, that's got to be tough to handle if you're Georgia Southern.
Particularly when you talk about on the road and want to eliminate mistakes. You cannot have that from a defensive perspective.
Over the middle, high throw. No, actually, flags come in the backfield. Trying to hit Warren over the middle. Jefferson was knocked to the turf, and 2 flags immediately came out. Looked like Ben Josue.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 5 on the defense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
And that is Ben Josue.
So now you have two penalties, 2 opportunities to be able to put them in long situations. One, you get your offense the football. This one, it would have been at least a 3rd and long situation, and it's penalties. That's one of the things that Coach Lunsford talked about. You cannot do as far as a football team, and they want to get back to being Georgia Southern right now, not playing too smart.
I mean, that's what Lunsford said to us before the game. Let's just show people who we really are this week. So far, it has been misstep after misstep. First down and 10 from midfield. Big hole off the right side for Rocket, the true freshman out of Rockledge High School in Florida. Well, they've got just a great running back room. They've got a lot of guys who can do some damage. Near side pass caught at the 35-yard line. That was caught there by Warren. Gain of 8.
KJ Jefferson does a nice job of being able to set his feet and be able to get this football out to Warren out there running the hitch route. Hit it.
Rocket down to the 30-yard line, gain of 5. You see the tempo. You know, Arkansas, interesting for a variety of reasons. The last 2 weeks only averaged right around 65 plays each of the first 2 games. I mean, they're a team that could go 80, 90 plays on you if you're not careful. And they're picking up the tempo here on this drive. Flag down. Flags all over the place.
Maybe Arkansas is illegal motion, but you also have Georgia Southern who had 12 men on the field, so that play may get to be replayed over. The lineman never got off the field completely for Georgia Southern.
Before the snap, false start on the offense. Not all players got set before the snap. The penalty, 2nd down.
That'll back him up to the 35.
So Georgia Southern is fortunate there.
Dominic Johnson now checks into the game. The 6'1", 235-pounder with great speed. All day to throw. Jefferson over the middle, high. Well, that ball just floated on him. He was trying to hit Burks, looking for his first catch of the day. Tyler Bride back there in coverage.
Jefferson sees it, and he really wants to be able to come back. That's his 2nd read, and that ball just sails. Like you said, Dave, that's one where he wants to be able to get down and maybe throw a little bit on a rope so that safety doesn't come over and get involved in it. It's one man they want to get going, Burks.
Burks 5 catches last week for 37 yards. On a 3rd down, Jefferson will dump it off underneath. Here's A.J. Green, another talented true freshman with a first down. Godfrey Jackson pushes him out of bounds.
Nice job of just reading it if you're K.J. Jefferson, and you just get it to your playmaker, and he's able to pick up that first down for you.
Gain of 18 makes it 1st down and 10 from the 12. Here's A.J. Green, stiff arm. Good open field tackle on the edge by Seth Robertson.
Really nice job by Seth Robertson of making that tackle. I mean, because if you don't make that play there, that's one that Green may take to the house and score really nice job of being able to tackle him in the open field. Arkansas slowing that tempo down just a little bit, just like you talked about earlier. Being able to go fast and then go a little tempo, slow it down as they get instructions from offensive coordinator.
A.J. Green trying to find a little bit of room. Picks up a few yards off the left side of that line. Land the first one there for Georgia Southern, but A.J. Green, ESPN top 300 recruit, great speed as well, 10'4", 100-meter guy. Was slowed in preseason camp with a concussion. Didn't play that opening game. Got in a few snaps last week. 7 carries and 67 yards with a 30-yard touchdown run thrown in there. And now they'll turn it over to the other youngster, Rocket Sanders. Quick slant over the middle. Pass caught, first down. That one goes to Crawford. It'll be 1st and goal.
Nice slant there by Crawford to be able to be on time, be in the right spot. KJ Jefferson does a really nice job of reading it and getting it to him in 1st down.
Jefferson off to a good start. 4 out of 5 throwing the football. Hands it off here. Flag comes out, though. This will be coming back. Holding on that edge by Myron Cunningham, I believe. When you're 325, 6'6", out kind of in the open field, hard to get away with something like that.
Holding offense, number 76, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, 1st down.
Trying to run this zone play outside, and Cunningham, he just gets caught with that left hand just pulling. That's Jalen Jackson, the defensive end that's trying to make that play. And just got to let him go. And I agree, when you're that big of a player at that left tackle position, the referee will see it every time.
This veteran group up front, Cunningham, Latham, Stromberg, Clary, Dalton Wagner, Bo Limmer getting some work up there. These guys have played a bunch of football. Trying to come around the right side with it. Nowhere to go really for Burks, just ran out of room. Gain of about 2 on the play.
Just a toss sweep to Burks. I mean, we talked about them getting the football in his hands, being able to let him make plays. We saw it on that deep post route, and here it's just a toss sweep. And really, Georgia Southern does a nice job of just springing this ball out and forcing him to the sideline with minimal gain.
How about this drive? 14 plays to this point. A little low snap. The handoff goes to Dominique Johnson. He's to the 5 and into the end zone.
Low snap and all, it does not matter for Dominique Johnson. He's still able to have enough patience to be able to. KJ Jefferson picks this ball up off the ground, and no penetration by that Georgia Southern defense. Really only 1 or 2 guys were able to touch him before he's able to get into the end zone. So that offensive line did a nice job up front creating the lane for Johnson there.
Cam Little to attempt the point after. 15-play drive, 94 yards, 6.5 minutes, helped by a couple of devastating penalties by Georgia Southern. Offsides on a punt, gave Arkansas a 1st round and kept the drive alive as Dominique Johnson goes into the end zone.
The fragrance destination.
Texas and tied, and how about Tusk? On hand again today, 14-0. He's a happy guy, getting some snacks. Fair catch call for that ball. Will head out to the 25. Time to take a look at our player spotlight, brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. And for this, Hayden Henry. What a story, right? A family tradition here at Arkansas between brothers, his dad. Gets an extra year this year, decides to come back. Didn't even think he was going to play. There was about a month or so where he just thought he was done. Comes back. National Player of the Week, 15 stops against one of your biggest rivals against Texas last weekend. And just what a story, just gets better and better.
He's really gotten better and better this season. I expect him to continue to play that way the rest of the season, particularly this game. And so he's healthy as well. That definitely helps.
Former walk-on, awarded a scholarship after that 17 season. And boy, just what a game. This linebacking core is really good with Henry, Poole, and Morgan. pitch there goes to Caleb Hood. Let's go downstairs, visit with Andrea.
Yeah, guys, Amari Jones for Georgia Southern was on the sidelines pacing, attempting to jog earlier. No official update yet, but he is being attended to by the training staff in the tent.
Boy, Amari's one of those guys they were counting on to play a bunch of different roles today. Running back, receiver, if need be, some quarterback work, which he has had in the past. Hopefully he can get back on the field. Tomlin over the middle, that pass right through the hands of Bo Johnson, the tight end.
Coach Roos told us a little bit, the offensive coordinator for Georgia Southern, that they don't throw it a lot to those tight ends, but when they do, it's kind of a bonus for them, and that football looked like it snuck up on Bo Johnson there a little bit before he was ready to catch it.
His older brother, wide receiver at UCF last night with some big catches. Tough loss for Gus Malzahn and the Knights. Good win for Louisville, though. Out of the backfield, a huge collision. They go to Logan Wright, whose helmet pops off on the hit from Bumper Pool, but that's a great catch and a first down.
Well, it's a great catch, a great throw. It's a wheel route out of the backfield for the linebacker, and Bumper Pool is in position to be able to make that play. It's just after the first down, after the catch, and nice form tackle as well.
Georgia Southern does get the first down. They'll spot it at the 37-yard line. Jalen White now in the backfield. Lewis comes in motion. Nobody to pinch. Lewis turned around and went the other way, while Tomlin looked like he was trying to find somebody to pitch it to.
When you go, he's the individual that comes out. Tomlin is looking, and he ends up just holding the football, and that's one where you don't want negative plays. Greg Brooks comes up with the tackle there. That's one where you don't want negative plays, and particularly on first down, that was Lewis, who should have been the pitch man, who Tomlin was trying to pitch the football to. He reversed and went the other way.
Good thing he didn't pitch it. A loss of 6. Tomlin keeps it, turns the corner, and he gets collared and thrown down. Jalen Catalon comes flying in there. Boy, Catalon has not missed a beat after that sensational freshman season. A gain of 8 on that play, but sometimes guys, maybe all the notoriety gets to him a little bit, don't come back the same type of player, but they said that has not been the case with this guy. He practices every day like it's a national championship game.
Making plays like that, being able to come up and tackle the quarterback when he's running the football, that definitely helps you, and it's only going to help him get better as well as that defense.
3rd down and 8. Tomlin. That pass is dropped. Caleb Hood had a chance to make the first down grab, but dropped it.
Nice job by Tomlin being able to just roll out by himself a little time. You have double A-gap pressure, and that's one that Caleb Hood, he's short hands as well, and the ball is there. He's got to make that catch.
You know, those are the plays, Deuce, right? If you want to come and have make a game of it, you got to make those type of plays.
You definitely got to make them. That's the 3rd one for this Georgia Southern team that they don't make.
Brody makes the catch around the 17, out to the 25, and that's where Arkansas will take it.
Wherever fun happens. Academy Sports and Outdoors is there.
Well, we are here, Northwest Arkansas. Reynolds Razorback Stadium. KJ Jefferson off to a good start. 4 of 5, 83 yards. 162 yards of offense for Arkansas. As they're back on the field with just 1:07 to go here in the first quarter. They've held Georgia Southern to 18 total yards. Boy, that is just a wall of the offensive line. Nobody was open downfield, so Jefferson takes it himself. Hit there by Parker Devine. He'll pick up about a yard.
Nice job of the offensive line being able to get him time, and KJ's able to step up in the pocket, but nobody's open.
play fake coming near side. Incomplete there, trying to hit Warren.
KJ Jefferson short hops that throw on the hitch route. He's wiping off that face shield that he wears a little bit here, and you have a 3rd and long situation, and we've seen Georgia Southern have somewhat some success, but then they hurt themselves on that 4th down opportunity, but now another chance for them to be able to get off the field.
Yeah, 3rd down and 9. Cunningham popped up on the left side of that line.
False start on the offense, number 66, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Ty Clary was the first one to go, though.
Never good when you have 2 offensive linemen. Yeah. Basically, you could have choose which one that you want to call the penalty on. A little miscommunication on that back end as well for that defense. They've changed the look as well defensively.
3-man front by the Eagles. Jefferson hit as he throws. Off the fingertips of Burks, and KJ got walloped.
Georgia Southern brings pressure off of the slot, and that's who is able to get that hit. It's Wilson, Anthony Wilson, the thumper on that defense, and he hits him squarely, and that is not how you want your quarterback to be able to get hit any time of the game. But Georgia Southern bringing pressure with Anthony Wilson off the edge.
Scott Sloan telling us Anthony Wilson's basically a linebacker just in a safety body. We've seen him attack today. Bauer's punt is a good one, a boomer that is fielded by Hood all the way back inside the 20. A 59-yard punt. They'll spot it at the 19-yard line. Well, so far, this Georgia Southern offense, this triple option that they like to run, hasn't been much of a problem, but you have to continue if you're Arkansas staying on your assignments.
Well, you definitely have to stay on your assignment, and I think when you look at it, Arkansas is winning the line of scrimmage, so they're not having a lot of opportunity to be able to get upfield and put them in one-on-one situations. You saw some of the early mistakes, particularly with the drop from the tight end. You talk about Hood having a drop on that last drive and then going the wrong way as well from your running back definitely doesn't help you.
Tomlin is dropped inside the 10. Trey Williams, the first one there, the transfer from Missouri, getting to the Georgia Southern quarterback.
Well, Trey Williams, he's matched up. That's a matchup he's going to win every time. He's matched up on the tight end, Boa Johnson, and anytime that he sees that, he's going to love it. I mean, and that's the second time negative plays for that offense where it's 2nd and long.
A loss of 10. Arkansas puts up 2 touchdowns, both on the ground. That's 10 rushing touchdowns through 2.5 games for Arkansas. Looking good after 15 minutes of play. Back to Fayetteville after this.
Let everybody talk right now. Tell me what you want right now. You could get it.
Yeah. Jefferson and company, a couple of touchdowns in the first quarter, lead at 14-0. Matter of fact, Arkansas hasn't given up a point in the first quarter this season. They outgained Georgia Southern 163-8 in the first 15 minutes. See the numbers for KJ Jefferson, and boy, just a lot of options for offensive coordinator Kendall Briles. Georgia Southern trying to chew up some clock. Their first play of this possession loses 10 yards, so chasing the chains once again. They'll get 6 there from Logan Wright.
Nice job by Logan Wright being able to find that soft spot in the zone. They were able to pull not only a guard but one of the tight ends, and just getting behind your pads, being able to pick up at least 4 or 5 yards there.
Third down and 14. Caleb Hood makes the catch, a gain of 6. That just gets him back maybe a yard past the original line of scrimmage. So once again, here comes the Eagle punt team.
Georgia Southern just running a screen, just trying to get it into their playmaker Hood's hand, and that's what they do. But like you talked about, It's first down. You can't have lost yardage on first down. You're able to pick up eventually about 9 to 10 yards, but it's the first down production that they have to do a better job at not losing yards.
Anthony Beck back to punt again. Nathan Perotti back to return this one. It's end-over-end kick. Perotti tries to return it, but nothing happening there as he's dropped at the 36-yard line.
Seen both of these punters be able to kind of give us a little action with some big punch there.
See the first downs, 10 first downs for Arkansas, averaging over 7 yards a play. We were talking to Kendall Browse about running the football so much last week, and he's like, yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of weapons on offense, but if we're going to run it for 7 yards a pop, I'd be a fool to do anything else. Today's 1st and 10 line brought to you by our friends at T-Mobile. Handoff goes to Rocket Sanders. Michael Edwards making the stop. Loss of 2 on the play, so 2nd down and 12 coming up. Jefferson on the run. Burks had it, but hit the moment the ball touched his hands by Seth Robertson.
This is a really nice job here by Seth Robertson, and the only thing I would like to see Burks be able to do is high point this football. He was kind of casual as he's almost running backwards to try to catch this football, and Seth Robertson just comes over and knocks it out. It was actually a play designed off of the previous run play. Instead of running it, they faked the run, and then that's the pass off of that play and that design.
That was it. They faked the pitch, then they faked the handoff, and then threw it. Coming near side, here's A.J. Green. Boy, he is wrapped up almost immediately. Gain of only 2 gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but a 4th down situation, so Georgia Southern getting off the field. As Michael Edwards makes another stop on that possession.
See K.J. Jefferson be able to just throw it in the flat to the running back. They had success on that play earlier where they were able to pick up the first down. That time, not so much, just because of the distance that they had to go to pick up that first down. Georgia Southern was able to come up and rally the football and force a punt.
Reed Bauer will punt it away for Arkansas. High kick, fair catch called for. You can add some more yards to that. Dion Edwards just lost track of what was going on.
Personal foul, hitting a player that gave a fair catch signal, number 22 on the kicking team. That's a 15-yard penalty. It'll be 1st down. Timeout.
So timeout on the field. We'll take it as well. Hogs by 2 touchdowns. On the redshirt sophomore. Some say he could be the best safety in the country. 19 tackles this season, a couple of interceptions. Only guy in FBS this year to have double-figure tackles and 2 picks in the same game. That came in the opener against Rice, but what a freshman season he had last year. Tied for 1st among the country's freshmen in the FBS in tackles. Averaged just shy of 10 per game. That's how good that guy is. He has 3 stops today. Speaking of Catalan, just had a chance for a stop there. Missed him, but his teammates cleaned up the mess. But our boy Roman Harper said he's the best one in the country.
Dave, Roman likes to hear himself talk, but I will back him up on this one. Catalan will have an opportunity to be one of the top defensive backs, not only here at Arkansas, but throughout the country.
Of course, you and Roman teammates. Here's the pitch. That's a loose football, and Who's going to come up with it? Looks like Hood scrambled for that football.
You got 2 flags. I don't know what to call. Both of those linemen on the sideline both threw their flags at the same time. So we'll see what the ref calls
Illegal
it.
formation on the offense. More than 4 in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Here's Justin Tomlin with that pitch and probably not enough flip on the football. It's almost right down the line of scrimmage there, and you're fortunate that Hood is able to recover it. Another penalty early in the downs as well for this Georgia Southern offense, moving themselves back.
Again, chasing the chains. Tomlin steps up and throws. That's off the fingertips of Logan Wright. Boy, they had him for a big gain. Catalan over there in coverage. You see some of the awards he's up for, and you know, we talked a little bit about it, Deuce, and you were, listen, I put you in this spot. Early in your career, you had a bunch of accolades coming your way, right? You had 1,000-yard seasons. Is it hard to put all that to bed and still be the same guy and try to elevate your game?
The question becomes, can you go and repeat it? The question, that's what you want to do, and so that's the challenge that you have to have and put it on yourself to be able to do so.
4-man rush. Pass is caught out to the 45-yard line by Dexter Carter. His father, Dexter Sr., you might remember that name. He was fullback with Florida State, played in the NFL for a while with San Francisco and the New York Jets.
That's Georgia Southern. This time it was a second down play where they had the lost yardage just because of the penalty, the alignment penalty. But, I mean, it's almost like 2 steps forward, 4 steps back for them from an offensive standpoint.
It's like they're having a tough time just getting out of their own way. Wobbly kick, line drive. Boy, it takes a fortunate eagle bounce, and this one will be down at the 1-yard line. A 54-yard punt. Arkansas by 2 touchdowns. Back in a moment. Worth a Watch is brought to you by Principal Financial Group. And boy, I tell you what's worth watching is this running back group for Arkansas, led by this man, Traylon Smith. He has been dynamite at 102 yards against Rice. And here's a young man, Dominic Johnson, takes it in for Arkansas' 2nd touchdown today. You can't overlook Rocket Sanders, A.J. Green. Boy, you want to talk about just a great group to work with. I mean, you've got the power, you got the speed, you've got the versatility to catch the ball out of the backfield.
David, that's very rare. Normally you don't have as the depth that they have at running back like Arkansas does, and each one of them have a different skill set.
Well, they are backed up, folks. They are inside the 1-yard line. Dominic Johnson gets the call at running back to start this drive. KJ Jefferson, 5 yards deep in the end zone. They hand it off to Dominic Johnson, and if he was going to get through that hole, that track guy might have taken it 99 yards. Gain of 7. Dominic tripped up there for maybe a half a yard. Hey, tomorrow afternoon we'll have a top 20 women's volleyball matchup for you. 16th ranked Stanford takes on number 8 Kentucky from Memorial Coliseum in Lexington. This is the first matchup between the Cardinal and the Wildcats since 1989, and only the 4th meeting between these two schools. Kentucky looking for their first win against Stanford. Coming up 1 o'clock Eastern time right here on the SEC Network tomorrow afternoon. Gain of 6 and a first down.
Dave, we talked about Dominic Johnson being the heavier, the bigger back, and you could just see him run behind his pads and pick up that first down.
Here's Burks, makes a twisting, turning catch out over the 35 to the 37-yard line. That's his first catch of the day.
Love what Burks was able to do. He was actually looking for it in the first window. KJ hit him in the second window, both of those guys being on the same page.
Gain of 24. Boy, Jefferson all day to throw. Comes back near side. That one's dropped over there by De'Vion Warren. Previous play.
Yeah, just nice job of just being able to sell it like he was running the slant inside, and then he just gets almost just, I'm going to fake it, get up to field almost like a slant and go, and Burks is able to catch it. He and Jefferson being on the same page, reading and seeing the same thing from the defensive back.
That pass catching streak continues. It's at 23 every game of his career. Big hole up the middle. Dominique Johnson still on his feet to the 20 and knocked out of bounds around the 14-yard line by Anthony Wilson.
Really nice job on this counter play by Dominique Johnson, being able to hit it in the A-gap, and then you see the speed for him being able to get out on the edge. This whole drive has been nothing but Dominique Johnson as far as being able to get them out of the end zone from being backed up inside the one. Now he's able to get them into the red zone. That Arkansas offense rolling right now.
A gain of 48 yards for Dominique Johnson. A.J. Green comes in the game at running back. Jefferson will throw it over the middle. Pass is caught, flag down, touchdown, Tyson Morris. 14 yards on the pitch and catch.
Tyson Morris shows really, really strong hand. He runs this slant route. Jefferson puts it where he can catch it.
On the defense, number 14. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a touchdown.
Really nice job here by KJ Jefferson, and just being able to put it up where his receiver can go up and get it. That's the second big play by Tyson Morris that he's able to make. Their cover guy, Darrell Baker's in coverage, and he just can't do anything with the big body receiver coming up with a huge catch for another touchdown for Arkansas.
Point after is up and good. Tyson Morris in his 6th year, the super senior. His 2nd touchdown reception of the year. 14 yards. 21-point lead. Half. Here it's 21-0. Well, Out of Pocket with Alyssa Lang and our own Andrea Carter take you inside the world of SEC sports with laid-back interviews, lots of laughs, and Lang's signature passion for finding the best food around the SEC. 1-hour show every Wednesday, 7 o'clock Eastern, right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. One app, one tap. And the good news is we get kind of a preview because Dre's down the sideline. Dre, what we got this week? Anything?
Well, you know, Dave, we got to let all the games happen before we figure out what we're going to do on the show. But Arkansas fans are probably happy. We've had Grant Morgan, Bumper Pool, and Tusk on the show. I did feed Tusk today, so we might see that this week.
So how was Tusk?
Fantastic. Fantastic interview.
Handoff off the left side going to Gerald Green. Markel Utze, another transfer from Missouri. Barry Odom, defensive coordinator, talking to us, getting those two guys really kind of solidified that defensive front. Really, since Dorian Gerald's out with a broken leg, those two guys, they're leaning on them a lot up front.
Well, and it starts with the linebacker core, and you look at what they're able to do with those linebackers. But this defensive front has been really, really good against this triple option as well.
Yeah, football at its best right now for Arkansas. Speaking of injuries, we talked about Dorian Gerald not with this team. Let's get an update on what's going on with Georgia Southern. Dre?
Georgia Southern's training staff, guys, did confirm Amari Jones has gone to get an X-ray on his left ankle.
Oh, yeah, we saw him being carted off a few possessions ago. I've not seen him come back out to the field just yet, and that's a really big blow for this Georgia Southern team, not just today, but moving forward for Coach Lunsford and company. Here comes some heat. Tomlin has some room to run. I mean, a lot of room. Tomlin to midfield, still on his feet. Being chased by Fouché. He won't catch him. Touchdown. Georgia Southern, 76 yards.
Whoa. You talk about a player that makes an impact, and talking to Coach Lunsford, he is what makes that Georgia Southern offense go. There's a blitz pressure right here. Bumper Poole has a shot at him, and he can't make the tackle. And so basically, since it's man-to-man on the outside, there's nobody that can account for the quarterback. And once he breaks the containment, nobody is able to catch it.
Alex Rayner with the point after. Boy, did Georgia Southern need a play, and they got one out of Justin Tomlin, who's making his first start this year, missed the first 2 games of the season. They're glad to have him back. Last year started a few games for him, but this is his first go as the guy. And they were wondering what he would be like, what it would look like with him under center. He was able to practice with the team, but really didn't get a whole lot of reps. They were trying to get other guys ready. But if he can provide that kind of spark for you, there's something to build upon.
Well, it's definitely something to build upon. You talk about on 3rd down as well, and that's 3rd and long. And so Arkansas decides to bring a little pressure. And like I said, that was A-gap pressure. And Bumper Poole is the young man that had a shot at making that tackle. And you just see Justin Tomlin use his athletic ability to be able to break, contain. And like we talked about, that defense is caught in a man-to-man situation. And so the cornerbacks, they're covering the receivers. And so by the time that they turn around and actually look and see, he's already broke contain. He's 15 yards down the field, and nobody's able to catch him as far as once he turned into a runner.
Well, a sprinter in high school. He was a high school state champ in the 4x100 relay, ran 200 meters, 22.5. We saw a glimpse of that speed right there. Nobody was catching him. As he goes 76 yards, short kick. Taken by Ladarius Bishop, and he is met around the 20.
Just another replay of it, and everybody is in man-to-man safeties as well as corners, and you see that track speed at last 40. He's pulling away. He is pulling away from guys, and now I think that was Fouché that had a shot at him there for about 20 to 30 yards, which is too much long speed by Justin Tomlin to be able to pull away and get Georgia Southern on the board here.
17-17 to go here in the 2nd quarter. That certainly helped the stat sheet look much better, as Arkansas was completely dominating. They put up 262 yards of offense to this point. Here's A.J. Green. He's met at the 25, a gain of 3 before he is brought down there by Seth Robertson, his 3rd tackle today.
Coach Kendall talked about a lot liking all 4 of those running backs. I haven't seen Traylon Smith a lot since that first drive.
You remember we saw him during a timeout kind of moving his left shoulder around, Deuce. I wonder if he didn't tweak something.
That may be the case.
Jefferson trying to hit Burks, underthrows him. It'll be 3rd down. Well, just not a good throw from KJ.
Not a good throw, but that one, I don't know if Georgia Southern, that linebacker, as KJ is rolling out, did he get in his view or maybe even get a hand on it? He didn't get a hand on it. It's just not a good throw like you talked about. And KJ Jefferson, the coaching staff talked about him being able to really throw the football well when he's moving out of the pocket.
Dominique Johnson in at running back on a 3rd down and 7. Pressure comes. Jefferson hit as he throws high and incomplete. And another stop by Georgia Southern will force the Hogs to punt it away. Pressure came that time from Zion McGee.
Zion McGee is able to get pressure here. And so you talk about the 2nd level linebackers as well as some of those safeties and corners being able to apply pressure. That's the 2nd big hit that we've seen Jefferson take against this Georgia Southern defense. So some of those looks confusing that Arkansas front as far as offensive line.
Reed Bauer punts it away to Caleb Hood. Fair catch called for and taken at the 40-yard line. So 6:26 to play in this one. Georgia Southern down by 14 with the football. Smith back on the field.
A Quarter Pound King in the 2 for $6, only at BK.
T-Boys in a few moments. 6:26 on the clock before we get to halftime. Tomlin will throw back over the middle. Had a guy wide open, just underthrew him a little bit. Bo Johnson, again, the tight end, trying to hit him, and a little bit more air on that. That could have been a really big play.
Justin Tomlin, this is probably the second shot play that we've seen them kind of take down the field, not able to connect. One, we know Catalan made a play on it on the sideline, and that time you have a crosser coming across the middle, not able to connect there. Those are plays that they've got to be able to hit.
Catch is made there by Caleb Hood. Gain of about 4.5. This Georgia Southern team loves to chew up some clock, but that has not been the case today. We told you earlier, last year they averaged about 31 seconds between plays. That was the slowest offense in the FBS. Today they've been playing catch up, trying to speed things up, throwing it around a little bit more. Tomlin hit, flag down. Brought down by Trey Williams. Already has credit for a half sack today. He and Utsi each got a half of a sack.
Holding on the offense, number 77. That penalty's declined. 4th down.
Trey Williams has been a thorn in this Georgia Southern's offense. Tomlin thought that he had an opportunity to step up into that pocket, but Trey is able to really just fall off of that left tackle block. And we heard the referee say that they're going to decline that penalty also. And Griffin Carter, that left tackle.
Williams, a young man that left Missouri at the end of last season and went to Houston, but was only there for a few weeks. And entered the transfer portal, and that's where Barry Odom saw him and said, hey, relationship's pretty strong. You want to come play for me? He said absolutely, and they are glad to have him. Sam Pittman now in his second year, 5-7, 3 wins last year. Could have been a couple more, I think, when you go back and look at things. Eli Drinkwitz at Missouri had another win today. Mike Leach, Lane Kiffin. They have certainly brought some entertaining football back to the state of Mississippi, but those guys, I think, are all taking their programs up a level.
Well, I definitely think they're taking them up a level, and I think, you know, anytime that you talk about the SEC, victories are hard to come by, and I think all of those programs they're in the build mode. And you know, I know a lot of times you want a quick fix, and sometimes that's just not the case in those situations.
Here goes Warren. Warren to the 40 and thrown down at the 37-yard line by Darrell Baker. Another big play for this Arkansas offense.
It's a nice job by Warren, and this will actually count as a pass because the toss was forward for KJ Jefferson. Nice job on faking the reverse and picking up that yardage.
Gain of 44. He'll throw it to Burks. He turns the corner, has another first down. Good block out there by Blake Kern, the 5th-year senior tight end out of Lamar, Arkansas.
Devin Warren just a little slow to get up. He's coming out of the field, and I think that's not necessarily injured, more so tired after the play before. And nice job by those receivers on the edge. And you talk about KJ Jefferson maybe taking some shots. These are 2 plays for him from an offensive standpoint. Football is not in his hand very long. You set up almost like a screen right there that you get it to Burks, and then the other one is just like a little pop pass to Warren on the previous play.
Gunn Smith, by the way, back in the game. We saw him come out of the locker room about 5 minutes ago, stayed on the sideline. So whatever was happening, they checked him out. It's good, and so was that pass and catch. Blake Kern making the grab. His 4th catch of the year is a big one for 21 yards. That'll set up Arkansas 1st and goal.
Really nice design here to be able to get Kern wide open, and KJ Jefferson puts this ball perfectly where he can just basically catch it and get 1 or 2 feet down.
Treylon wrapped up and thrown down. Loss of 1.
You see Kern be able to fake like he's blocking, and almost a switch route where he's the inside guy and then he just runs almost like a fade route. Really nice design by offensive coordinator Kendall Browse.
The 40th play of the first half. To the end zone, and it's a good one. Touchdown, Arkansas. Jackson making the catch for the true freshman. His first of his career.
Late penalty by the officials there as well.
Ineligible for downfield, number 55 on the offense. It's a 5-yard penalty, second down.
Take that one off the books.
You don't see that call very often. They get the right guard. Bo Limmer gets called for the lineman down the field, but KJ Jefferson does a great job of being able just to take this football and escape it. And Limmer is just blocking. He's blocking his guy, drives him down the field. And in that situation, the ref said he was too far down the field. KJ Jefferson in that touchdown gets called back.
Jefferson, no room to run. He's dropped at the 13-yard line. A loss of 4. Parker Devine, Justin Ellis converge for the stop.
Nice job by Devine and Ellis being able to make that play on that design quarterback draw. Had a lot of success last week with that play against Texas. Georgia Southern defense up front, they're ready for it.
3rd down and goal. Rocket Sanders in the backfield now. And some movement up front by Arkansas again. Was he drawn off sides? That'll be the question.
I think Dylan Springer was the individual.
Offside on the defense, number 42, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
There's Dylan Springer. Got caught in the neutral zone making that play, and the offensive line, they do the right thing. They move once they feel like somebody's in the neutral zone, and another mistake on 3rd down by that Georgia Southern defense. Need a big play here.
So 3rd and goal now as they spot it around the 7-yard line. Burks goes in motion. Jefferson looking near side. A.J. Green just dropped it and then got walloped in the process. Quinn Williams came up to put the lick on the true freshman.
A.J. Green, he's got to catch that before he runs. Yeah, he's got to catch that football before he runs. He starts to look upfield before he secures the football. You're going to get hit anyway. You may as well catch it. Secure it first.
A 25-yard attempt from the near hash mark by Cam Little. SEC Freshman of the Week. Hammers that one through the uprights. 24-7 is our score now here late in the first half. Coming up at halftime, you can watch the live performance of the Razorback Marching Band on SEC Network Plus. You can start streaming that right now over on the ESPN app. Good to have the bands back on the field. Last week we got the pleasure of watching one of the great bands in all of college football, Alabama State, over at Auburn. That was a lot of fun.
Always going to put on a show when Alabama State's in the house.
Speaking of putting on a show, Deuce, how about 338? 338 yards of offense here in the first half for Arkansas. They have kept Georgia Southern at bay other than that one big play by quarterback Tomlin, but 106 yards for Georgia Southern, 76 on that one touchdown run.
Well, it's winning football, and it's running the football. You had one drive that was, I think, 99 yards, another one 94 yards. You had a 15-play drive. That's how you win football games. Now, it's not perfect for them. There's some things that they need to clean up. That's definitely how Arkansas wants to play overall.
Hood will let that one go over his head and into the end zone. So Georgia Southern has had some self-inflicted wounds here in the first half that kept some drives alive. They about to force an early punt. Arkansas backed up, but they were offsides on a punt, which gave them a first down, went on to go 94 yards for a touchdown. but they have somewhat settled down a little bit, it appears.
It appears that way. I mean, you talk about losing one of your playmakers, a guy that can do a lot of different things for you, line up in a lot of different places, that being Amari Jones. And, you know, not having him definitely hurts them. And you're not just talking about for this game. You're talking about as conference play starts to really kick off for him, and we see him getting off the cart with crutches. And so see if somebody else can make a play for this Georgia Southern team.
Here's the pitch coming to Hood. Makes a couple of guys miss, still on his feet. Boy, nice job by Hood to stay alive. Pick up 4 yards. Greg Brooks finally drags him to the turf.
You talk about, here's Jones here being able to just talk to some family members and, you know, kind of tell them what he's dealing with. And he's a big loss for this team, a transfer from Tulane University. He's lined up at quarterback. He can play halfback for you, play in the slot. Just a playmaker that they definitely needed.
Nice run by Logan Wright. That's a first down at the 40.
It's a nice run, Logan Wright. You're able to get right behind those guards and tackle that pull for you. It's a really nice run.
Big back, 6 feet, 230 pounds. He'll get it again. It runs right into the heart of that D line. It breaks a couple of tackles and falls out to the 41. The clock moving, 125, 124. Both teams still have all 3 timeouts left. That was almost picked off, but caught by Hood. Jaden Johnson, number 8, almost got right in front of that football.
Jaden Johnson, he's reading it, and it's just an out route. Georgia Southern calls the timeout here. Tomlin does a nice job of just being able to place this football on that out route. Georgia Southern have a nice drive going here right before the half. Seen a couple of running backs be able to break some tackles as well, making some guys miss.
Sure. Chad Lunsford, now in his 5th year at the helm of the Georgia Southern program, took over as an interim head coach back in 2017, coached the final 6 games of that campaign, got the job, been there a long time. Handoff goes to Gerald Green. He's got a first down and more down to the 35-yard line. That'll stop the clock with 61 seconds to go, a gain of 19.
Really the first time we've seen this Arkansas defense be sloppy as far as tackling. Mentioned it earlier in this drive, a couple of running backs making guys miss.
Here comes the option this way. There's a pitch, some room for Logan Wright. He'll pick up 7 before he's knocked out of bounds by Jalen Catalon. Well, this certainly makes the first half interesting if they can punch this one in for a touchdown.
Definitely makes it interesting. Justin Tomlin a little slow getting up after that big hit by that Arkansas defense, and so you have to really feel good how you're finishing off at least this first half.
2nd down and 3. Nothing happening on that play. Let's see if Georgia Southern wants a timeout. 35 seconds. They'll hurry up. 4-man rush. Tomlin throws. And they're going to say pass is caught around the 15-yard line by Caleb Hood. That'll stop the clock at 18 seconds. Georgia Southern wants a timeout. A 13-yard pickup.
Really nice throw here by Tomlin. You look at the rushing yards by Georgia Southern, that second quarter really taking over. And I know some of that is because of Tomlin's 76-yard run.
Let's go back and take a look and see if Hood was able to possess this football.
think he got both hands under the football. I think he got both underneath it, and I think that was one of the hesitations for Georgia Southern not to call that timeout.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, they didn't want to stop that clock. So, hey, look, those referees and give them an opportunity to really be able to look at it. But Hood does a really nice job of getting his hands underneath on that reception.
So first down and 10. We're going to continue to look at that play, I believe.
The ruling on the field of a completed pass is under video review.
And now Georgia Southern just burned a timeout, and they're still using. That's one of those things.
Well, it's 18 seconds on the clock, and so you get caught in that situation where you get the first down, or at least the ruling on the field. You're looking at it as a catch, and I thought that he had an opportunity to be able to run for this football, but he does a nice job of keeping his eyes down the field, and he makes this throw, and I think Hood is able to get both of his hands up underneath this football before it hits that ground.
It looks like a catch from that angle.
And I don't know if there's going to be a shot that shows you from a definitive look that it was not a catch. I mean, he goes in and almost scoops it up. And so if you're Georgia Southern, you still have at least one more timeout after this review. You can still pick up a first down inside of the 5-yard line. So you have to be able to say, hey, look, these are the plays that we can run. We have 2 or 3 plays just depending on the look that we get from Arkansas. We know that they've caught Arkansas bringing some pressure a couple of times, and Tomlin was able to break containment. A couple of throws that they were unable to hit, particularly on an over route. Let's see if he comes back to that.
Well, you just got to get some points here if you're Georgia Southern. Some way, somehow. Tomlin to the end zone. Overthrows Hood. That'll be incomplete. 13 seconds to go.
Hood tries to run a slant and go, and nice job. Catalon being able to stay right there where that football had to go. And we talk about being one of the best defensive back preseason All-American candidate. You see him show some cover skills there.
Four-man rush. They'll go to the outside, caught by Johnson. He's out of bounds.
Flood type of look as far as offensive is concerned. They sent 4 guys over to one side, and so you don't pick up a lot of yardage.
I'm just confused. Why are you not going to an end zone in that situation?
Well, I think this play they definitely go to the end zone and try to make a play. That time I think they just wanted to pick up some yardage.
Well, they can get first down inside the 4. Loose football. It's on the turf. And a timeout going to be taken by Georgia Southern.
And Coach Lunsford is upset, and he felt like that Arkansas guy, the defensive lineman, was messing with the football. And that's what they're trying to point out. But I don't think that the refs are going to agree with him. Coach Lunsford is all the way in the middle of the field. Because Georgia Southern didn't look like they were ready for the snap. They did not look like they were ready for the snap, and Tomlin is a good enough athlete where he can recover that botched snap because he wasn't ready. He was coming up to the line of scrimmage to try to give them some more signals, and the center snaps the ball, and they're very, very fortunate to be able to at least get an opportunity to attempt this field goal right before the half.
32-yard field goal attempt from Alex Rayner, and Sam Pittman will take a timeout.
Timeout, Arkansas.
Well, here's a look at that last play.
Well, Arkansas defender. Nobody touched the football, and I think your center, Langenmeyer, just snapped it early.
Yeah.
There's no interference at all.
Problem was Tomlin just didn't see it coming.
Correct. Tomlin didn't see it coming. He was going up to the line of scrimmage to be able to bark out and give some more signals to those guys. And so I don't know what Coach Lunsford, what his gripe is. That maybe it was a Arkansas player maybe yelling some type of snap count that they've heard Georgia Southern kind of using that situation, but it was definitely snapped early before the quarterback was ready.
Anthony Beck will hold it for Alex Rayner. This kick is on the way, and it is good. So Georgia Southern, despite the little mishap there at the end of the first half, able to put points on the board. And look, it's a 2-touchdown game, and Georgia Southern seemed to settle down a little bit. Definitely make it a decent game.
Yeah, definitely seemed to settle down a little bit from an offensive standpoint. You saw a lot of missed tackles by that Arkansas defense, particularly on that last drive. So that's something that they'll definitely have to get cleaned up as we head into the halftime. We'll see how Coach Pittman and Coach Odom get those guys ready to go.
Let's go down to Dre.
Coach, they were able to get down the field, but you held them to a field goal. How do you evaluate your defense that half?
Well, they were great the first quarter. Second quarter, obviously, we let them go 80 yards, and then we give up a field goal here, so we got to get better there.
And KJ Jefferson, 200 passing yards, but he's taken some hits. How do you describe his toughness?
I don't think the whole half's been any good for us. You know, we're inconsistent. We're not playing with any energy. We have to get better, but we can't let our quarterback stand out there and get hit. And that's what's happening to him right now.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
Sam Pittman telling it like it is. That they'll take a 2-touchdown lead into the break, 24-10, 338 yards of offense to 166. And with that, time to get you to the studio. Our Auto Owners Insurance Halftime Report. Guys.
Thank you, Dave Neal. It is indeed the Auto Owners Insurance Halftime Report. Peter Burns, Gene Chizik, Benjamin Watson, Chris Story. Let's get down to the swamp, your old haunts, and that place was
good look at Reynolds Razorback Stadium. 2 quarters of football in the books. The Hogs lead it by a couple of touchdowns. Dave Neal alongside my partner Deuce McAllister. And Deuce, obviously this Arkansas team got off to a really quick start, but then they kind of got stuck in the mud. What happened with them in the first half?
Well, I think they got away from running the football, and then some of the mistakes and penalties, whether it was jumping off sides or whether it was just dropped passes. And I think one of the things that they definitely have to do better is protecting their quarterback. KJ Jefferson, really the first play of the game, he was able to make this throw and hit this pass. And, you know, we talked about those running backs being so dynamic. Smith is able to scamper into the end zone, and they have plenty of guys back there. So it'll be interesting to see how they come out. They do get the ball to start this third quarter.
Well, they went to the running game for the first couple of touchdowns, led it 14-0 after 2 quick drives. Matter of fact, they had 3 lengthy drives in that first half, and there's a great catch by Burks. We didn't see a whole lot of him. Tyson Morris, touchdown catch there, but Burks is a guy that you think you maybe see a little bit more here in the second half.
I definitely think that they'll get him more involved in the second half. You look at it overall, they have over 300 yards offense in the first half, but it's a third down conversions. That's what they have to fix. You know, when they've been backed up, it's been a really good offense. I mean, you talk about those 15-play drives and being able to go the length of the field. That's really who they are as far as an offense. Just have to eliminate those mistakes.
74-yard drive, a 94-yard drive, a 99-yard drive, and they'll have the football here first. Oh boy, misplay in the end zone by Bishop. He'll bring it out. And lucky they got that far. They got out to the 20-yard line. And with that, we'll go down and check in with Andrea.
Yeah, Dave, head coach Chad Lungeford for Georgia Southern, he told his guys at halftime, every yard, every completion is hard right now, but keep working. On offense, he wants them to hit the right numbers in their option, and on defense, he wants more discipline to stop giving up big plays.
Yeah, and I think that discipline goes to, you know, let's not hurt ourselves with penalties. You know, one of the things he told us in our meetings this week, we got to get back to playing Georgia Southern football. Let's be who we are, and that is clean, sharp, and aggressive. First play here, Smith pick up 4.5. KJ Jefferson popped a few times in the first half. Some good licks on him. Justin Tomlin, same thing, had a nice big 76-yard touchdown run. Smith is chased down there. Good play from the outside by Ben Josue. But there's a look at those QB numbers.
Center Ricky Stromberg got rolled up there by the running back. Smith ended up rolling right up there on his ankles, and that's one player that you don't want to lose anytime. You go back to Coach Pittman talking about a guy that he felt like just was the glue on that offensive line, and that's your center, Ricky Stromberg.
Well, that's a guy that, you know, coaches say that you got to play with an edge, right, up front in the trenches, and he brings it every single day, every practice, every game. Guy that's certainly going to make some money playing at the next level. They love him as their leader, the preseason All-SEC performer. Let's hope he's all right as he pops up. We'll step aside. Back in a moment.
The Fragrance Destination.
Extra Yard for Teachers Week is an annual effort led by the College Football Playoff Foundation that brings college sports together to support and honor great teachers across the country at games and on social media. To learn more about Extra Yard for Teachers, follow at CFP Extra Yard. Well, Ricky Stromberg walked over on his own power, limping, however. He's in the tent right now. We'll try to get an update for you there. That means Ty Clary moves from guard over to center. Shift in formation. A.J. Jefferson looking to throw here. Steps up, throws a seed across the middle. Caught there about 38-yard line. Davion Warren, and that'll be a first down. We're talking about Extra Yard for Teachers. K.J. Jefferson, he's got a special teacher in his life. For more, let's go to Andrea.
KJ Jefferson told me all about his first grade teacher, Lauren Laverne at Como Elementary. He said she took him under her wing and treated him like he was her own child. So if you're watching, he says thank you.
Going deep here. Hopefully she is watching as this one is hit for a home run. Touchdown, Arkansas. Warren Thompson, 60 yards.
Dave, those two throws by K.J. Jefferson, I don't know if you could place it any better. K.J. Jefferson, it's a drop 8 defense, and so Georgia Southern is only rushing 3 guys. And this throw, Warren, it's perfect. It is perfect. And this is the second time that Darrell Baker, the cover guy for Georgia Southern, has been beat for a touchdown. I don't know if you're K.J. Jefferson, you can throw a ball any better. That is perfect.
Warren Thompson, transfer from Florida State, on the receiving end of that K.J. Jefferson touchdown. Thompson played for Briles at Florida State in 19. And 1 year when Briles was there as the offensive coordinator before coming here. Played 16 games in his career at Florida State. And they are glad to have him working in the action. Let's go down to Andrea one more time.
Yeah, guys, you saw that throw by KJ Jefferson. He told me this offseason he did a ton of band work to strengthen the tiny muscles in his shoulders to be able to make big throws like that one.
Well, it was a thing of art.
That's one where you see that off-season work really paying off for it, and you talk about being perfect as far as the throw, because it wasn't terrible coverage by Baker, but that one had to be perfect, and KJ is on time and perfect with the throw.
Arkansas right out of the locker room. Goes 80 yards in 1:27 on 4 plays. This one, Georgia Southern had a little bit of momentum. This is what happens.
It's just a go route by Warren. Warren just runs by Baker as far as the coverage is concerned, and KJ, he just drops it in a bucket. And that's something that you just practice. And so, hey, I'm throwing it to a spot, and you ask your guy to go and get it, and Warren is able to go and get that football. Warren Thompson just being able to make a play.
Well, let's see now if Georgia Southern can answer the call on their end. Justin Tomlin, what did you make? You know, obviously his first start since last year. What is today after missing the first 2 games because of an academic suspension? What did you make of his first half?
I thought it was up and down. I thought his receivers could have helped him a little bit, but I thought his overall play was up and down.
They'll go inside handoff here. Much happening. How about, we didn't talk a whole lot, Deuce, about the 3 guys we came in raving about at linebacker. Grant Morgan, Hayden Henry, Bumper Poole. Those guys combined in the first half for 9 tackles. It was Jalen Catalon that led him with 7 stops in that secondary. Is this an offense that takes the linebackers out, or do the linebackers need to start making some more plays?
I think they can make a little bit more plays, but I thought that offensive line was able to get up on them as well.
Time for Tomlin, and overthrows a wide-open Caleb Hood.
Penalty on Trey Williams. He late hit, and that is going to be Tomlin that is hurt. Williams has been close all day, He's made some plays, but that time he's going to get that's a late hit on the quarterback, roughing the passer. If you're Coach Lunsford, that is not what you want to see. That's their quarterback, starting quarterback, Justin Tomlin. You just talked about it. First game back of this season. Trey Williams off of the edge. The ball is released, and he hits it right in the lower back. Justin Tomlin is jogging on the side, and so what's interesting is Amari Jones would be your backup quarterback. Cam Ransom is in the game, and I don't think that they really wanted to play him in this game because he's got a bad ankle that he's playing on.
Yeah, he started last week but had to leave the game because of that injured ankle. I don't know how much he can do today. He could do that for sure, but there is the linebacker we're talking about, Grant Morgan, hitting Gerald Green, and it was a big hit as Cam Ransom, those are his numbers, for the freshman out of Lakeland, Florida, top 50 dual threat quarterback coming out of high school.
Talk about the feature you just did on those linebackers. That's a form tackle by Grant Morgan just to be able to sit right there into that gap and make that play.
Second down, little play fake. Hood with the catch. We'll get it out over the 45 to the 46-yard line. Catalan in the coverage for the Hogs, a gain of 6.
Looks like Ransom is going to at least stay in and see if they convert. I don't know how much of a runner that he could give them as far as that extra element, kind of how you had Tomlin to be able to give you that extra element. Nice job on throwing the out route.
Ransom threw for over 5,000 yards and 59 touchdowns in high school. Also ran for over 1,200 yards. Stands in the pocket, throws over the middle, and another wide open Hood, and they just can't hit him. That was 6.
That is at least the third play where you've had an opportunity to have a down the field, a big play for your receiver, and the quarterback just doesn't make it. And I don't know, I mean, that ball sails on him. I don't know if he could actually plant and throw. We talked about him not being 100% healthy, that ankle, and it looked like from a throwing motion it was just all upper body, and that ball sails on him.
That ball will hit at the 5, and it'll be down inside the 10-yard line. Georgia Southern might have missed a great opportunity. Arkansas with the football when we come back.
Butterflies fly. I got a bee sting and an eagle's sight. Got a will to win and the strength of 10.
Boy, what a scene last weekend. Record crowd here at Reynolds Razorback Stadium. Fans stormed the field. Cost the school $100,000, but athletic director Hunter Yurchek said, you know what? I'm willing to pay that bill for the excitement that this man brought to this team since he's taken over this job. It's remarkable. I mean, listen, this team was having 0 success. And to have an opportunity in an all-conference schedule, they won 3, but it could have been 4 or 5 games last year.
It really just talks about the type of coach and the mentality that he has and the type of players that he has where they just want to come to work, and he's building a nice program here up at Arkansas.
Here's Burks. Takes a short pass, and he's going to go a long way. It's a race down the sidelines. Touchdown, Arkansas. 91 yards.
Whoa. That's all you can say. And it was set up perfectly. And, I mean, it's not a long pass, but they have blockers out in front. And once he gives that stiff arm to the defensive back, you are not going to catch him. And we talked about being explosive in the openers. That's an explosive play. And so you talk about offensively really not having the ball for, 2 minutes total, but already having 14 points coming out of the second half.
Well, we talked about that maybe they'd get Burks involved here in the second half because he only had 1 catch in the first half. And, well, this was just a big-time play by a big-time player.
And it's, as far as distance is concerned, it was just a screen. And they set up. They do a nice job on the perimeter. Your tight end does a nice job, and Tyson Morrison does a nice job as far as blocking Blake Kern, the other blocker, and the rest is just a foot race. And he is way too fast, and that's why he was a preseason all-SEC pick.
Let's go down to Dre.
Guys, KJ Jefferson described Treylon Burks as a freak of nature. Treylon Burks wears a 5X gloves. These are 4X. Nike doesn't make skill gloves in a 5X. He will probably bust through gloves like this in every game. But his hands, his legs, his size, and his skill set, KJ said freak of nature all the way.
6'3", 225 with those 10.5-inch hands. And it's got a chance here. There have been some good wide receivers over the years here, some great ones. And he's got a chance to leave here as perhaps their all-time greatest in terms of numbers. But when you put those hands up against some of the other great athletes in other sports, not just football, that's where he ranks.
And when you look at some of the other receivers on there, we're not just talking about Pro Bowl, we're talking about all-pro. You know,
Hall of Famers.
A Hall of Famer receivers, and just him being able to expand his hand and just maybe just throw it up. A lot of one-handed grabs, and that's why he was able to knock that defensive back down so easily with the stiff arm.
I love Shaq in there, though. Big man. I'd like to see Shaq play a little football. That'd have been something. Justin Tomlin, by the way, back in at quarterback. Here's a pitch. Hood gets walloped right as he got back to the line of scrimmage. Boy, they have been trying to use him all day. And he gets dinged up, and he'll take a break for a moment.
Talk about Hayden Henry and Grant Morgan made a play on the previous drive. That time, both of those guys meet me at the ball carrier. And so we talked about maybe the linebackers making not enough plays in space. They've been all over.
Second down and 10. Inside handoff goes to Logan Wright. He'll get a couple of yards there. Don't forget, coming up tonight at 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central, right here on this very network, the SEC network. It'll be Central Michigan and LSU. It's our SEC Saturday night matchup presented by T-Mobile. Dave Neal, Deuce McAllister, Andrea Carter down on the sidelines. Glad you could join us from the Ozarks here in Northwest Arkansas. The 20th ranked Razorbacks up 38-10. Tomlin on a third down. That one could have been picked off. Grant Morgan had it in his hands for a brief moment.
Does a nice job of just being able to drop in that hook zone as far as the linebacker is concerned. And so you're just reading the quarterback's eyes. And Grant Morgan, he gets one hand and a finger on that football to almost pick it off, to be able to take it back for a pick six.
Anthony Beck will punt it away. Taking some time. End over end kick. And that'll be down around the 21-yard line. So that is where Arkansas will take over. Sam Pittman said at halftime he was not happy at all with the first half. Certainly not pleased with the way they slowed down offensively, the way their quarterback was getting hit. And, you know, we saw this offense kind of, if it wasn't for the big play, didn't have a whole lot there in the middle part of that first half. And now you lose a guy that you really count on up front and Ricky Stromberg, who is still on the sideline. They took his helmet away, but looks like he is done for the day. He was limping around. We don't know the severity of that injury. But next week, you got to start looking forward. Texas A&M over in Dallas next week. Here's Smith out to the 30. He's tripped up there. And about 5. But there is big Ricky Stromberg, 6'4", 310 center. And he's got that thing wrapped up pretty good. You know they're going to be spending the next 7 days trying to get him ready for that big showdown with the Aggies. KJ Jefferson out over the 40 to the 43. Obviously, this offensive line has played a lot of football together. A holding foul against Arkansas will move them back, but you see the veteran group. Ty Clary.
Clary being able to move over to that center position, and that's at least a second penalty there on Cunningham as far as a holding play is called. They run the quarterback draw again. You get him for throwing down the defensive lineman.
Clary from right here in Fayetteville, went to high school about 200 yards from where we sit. Jefferson going up top again. Jackson was the intended target. That one is a little bit underthrown. Darrell Baker back there in coverage. And one of the things that Georgia Southern's having to fight through as Garrett Canteen, who tied for the national lead last year in interceptions, is out for the year. Got hurt last week.
And he is probably their best defensive back as far as coverage is concerned. And there they do a nice job of just being able, Justin Birdsong does a nice job of being able to locate the football and knock it away.
Canteen had surgery this week. Had 6 interceptions last year. Freshman All-American. Here's K.J. Jefferson coming near side and incomplete. So Tyler Bride had to step up, number 4 for Georgia Southern, but Canteen's a guy that certainly changes the dynamic in that secondary.
Show you a little bit of what they're missing, an all-conference player, torn pec muscle, so he's out for the year. Some other guys have to step up for this Georgia Southern defense.
Reed Bauer to punt it away. Bauer, 60-yard punt in the first half. This one not quite 60, but draws a fair catch. Now with 3 60-yard punts on the season, on his career. 38-10 our score here in Fayetteville, Arkansas.
The fragrance destination.
Boy, some big games around the SEC tonight. Of course, Georgia and South Carolina. Gamecocks come in 2-0. Georgia's defense, though, has just been dominant. Auburn, we had them last week. Explosive, good, solid defense on the road at Penn State. And then, of course, Ole Miss taking on Tulane. And Ole Miss better be ready. Tulane is a much better football team than you remember the last few years under the direction of Willie Fritz. They've been on the road because of the hurricane. They've been practicing over in Tuscaloosa. And, of course, we'll recap all those games tonight. SEC football final hosted by Peter Burns. Coach Gene Chizik, Chris Doering, and Benjamin Watson. They'll take you through all the biggest stories of the day and break down all these games. 10:30 Eastern Time right here on the SEC Network and, of course, the ESPN app. Speaking of Willie Fritz and Tulane, they've certainly improved, but a little tie into this one. He and Sam Pittman actually played together at Pittsburgh State. 2 guys still very good friends. Looks like maybe some movement up front.
False start on the offense. Number 51. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Wow, you get a second down and short, and the next thing you know, you're chasing the sticks again. It'll be second down and about 7 now.
I was just about to comment. That's the first time in a long time that they've had some success on first down.
I know. Can't stand prosperity. Well, those 8 penalties for Arkansas will get the ire of their coach, Sam Pittman. Boy, well played, well read, well done by Arkansas on the back end by Jaden Johnson. The safety coming up to make a great play on Tomlin.
We talked earlier about just playing assignment football, and that's exactly what they do. Jaden Johnson, he has the quarterback all the way. He's not going to get fooled by the motion and the eye candy that Georgia Southern tries to hit you with. He stays with the quarterback, and they just do a nice job of coming up another tackle on the quarterback for a loss as they try to run the option play there.
Boy, 3rd down and 12. They had it 2nd down and 2.5. Four-man rush. Tomlin, little shoulder fake, lofts it up. Hood was bumped out of bounds, and now it's 4th down.
Never really had a chance. Really nice job as far as coverage is concerned by Brown. You've got the other safety coming over the top. And that's just how you squeeze it all the way as far as coverage is concerned. Blair, that safety coming over the top and just nowhere to go with the football.
Anthony Beck punts it to Brody. Ooh, loose football down around the 25, but he'll come away with it. 42-yard kick. A 38-10 game, 6:59 to go here in the third quarter.
Brody not trying to give up any yardage there as that football hits the ground. Comes up in dangerous play, but he's able to scoop it up.
KJ Jefferson, 366 yards through the air. Had that 90-yard touchdown pass earlier this half. It's the longest for Arkansas since Matt Jones against Tennessee went 92 yards through the air in 2002. Rocket Sanders on that carry, gain of 1.
Seen this offense for Arkansas be explosive that second half. This time, just a zone play up the middle for Rocket Sanders.
Rocket Sanders driving the pile a few yards off that right side.
And Arkansas may run this counter play better than anybody in the country, where they pull their guard in there, tackle, and backs have to have patience, and that's what they have. And you can see the offensive coordinator, Kendall Browse, running a little clock here as they half huddle that offensive line.
Sanders stays in the game. Burks comes in motion. They'll hand it off to Sanders, their left side, running hard. He'll be shy of the first down. So it'll be 4th down and a couple of yards coming up.
Right now, here's the punt unit, and it's just outside zone. Try to see if Sanders can use that speed to be able to get to the edge, and that Georgia Southern defense does a pretty good job of being able to force him back inside. Kevin Glenn, able to come up with the tackle.
Hood will make the fair catch at the 10-yard line, or excuse me, at the 25-yard line. A punt of 41 yards. Boy, Hood has been Mr. Versatility today. We've seen a lot of number 7 on the offensive side of the ball for this Georgia Southern team. They're down 28 with 4:55 to go here in the third quarter.
And a lot of things as far as Hood is concerned, you knew that they wanted to get him the football, but by losing Amari Jones, some of those duties did fall to Hood as far as touches and explosive plays are concerned.
Today's 1st and 10 line brought to you by T-Mobile. That pitch could have been picked off. Logan Wright will take it out near the 35-yard line. They'll spot him at the 34, so a gain of 9 on the carry.
Same as last drive, you get positive yards on first down. Can't hurt yourself here on second down with the penalty or negative or lost yardage on this play.
A couple of tight ends in the game. Johnson in motion, tight end, set up on the right side. They'll run that direction. First down for the big back, Logan Wright, at 230 pounds. Brought down by Bumper Pool. Well, Well, Bumper last week had to just be antsy as all get out, but not being able to play that first half after a targeting call against Rice. Finally got in there and made plenty of plays, finished with double-figure tackles despite missing that first half.
Yeah, and you're talking about in a half. You're talking about just flying all over the place, all over the field.
Dropped. Emil Smith right through his hands.
You talk about being able to help your quarterback a little bit. I know that's at least a third drop from an offensive standpoint that they've had. And we're not talking about difficult catches as well. We know Hood had one, your tight end earlier. Boa Johnson had one, and now Emil Smith joins in. And you don't have to be perfect, but you can't hurt yourself.
Tomlin. Here's Hood. Oh.
Second one. I mean, and that hits him in the face mask. He goes and turns to be able to make a move. He's just got to look it in. It's a delayed slant. He catches it, or at least he throws his hands up to catch it, and he just turned his head. And it's the little things. It's the little things that is hurting this offense from extending those drives. And you talk about a do-all player, and you know we know Hood has the talent and the capabilities of doing it, just not doing it consistently.
2 drops make it 3rd down and 10. They'll run the option to the right side, and 7 yards on that carry by Tomlin. And he is hit there by Simeon Blair. So it'll be 4th down and a couple of yards. And the offense going to stay on the field here.
This is that aggressive approach that Coach Lunsford talked about, you know, being able to go for it on 4th down. And really it's because you had production on that 3rd down play. The corner came off of the edge to force Justin Tomlin as far as to keep that football, and they almost pick up 1st down.
5 of 8 on 4th downs this year, make it 6 of 9. Logan Wright just lowers his head. That'll keep the drive going. 1st down and 10 for Georgia Southern.
Gets behind the shoulder pads at 230 pounds. That's a load to be able to tackle. Offensive line do a nice job of getting push to be able to pick up that 1st down on 4th down.
False start.
False start.
Man.
Offense, number 50, 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
They just can't get out of their own way.
1st down. I mean, it's 1st down when they're hurting themselves, and you know, we've seen it a little on 2nd down, but it's just it's pre-snap. A lot of pre-snap things that are hurting this offense. And it's not just one guy. It's multiple players.
Pitch coming near side to Hood. Stays in bounds and gets walloped by Catalan and Bumper Pool. Gain of 9. So, yeah, you got a 3rd down, 2nd down and manageable.
Yeah, Jalen Catalan has been all over the field, and you talk about Bumper Pool being able to assist and make plays, and you know, just a tackling machine. Both of those guys. You talk about having over 9 tackles in this game.
Over the middle. There'll be a flag there for sure. There it comes in. Trying to hit Hood. It looked like Catalan was hanging on to the back of Caleb Hood.
Pass interference on the defense, number 1. It's a spot foul, automatic, 1st down.
Really hadn't seen a lot as far as the coverage skills of Catalan, but this time he's matched up with the slot receiver, and he's just a little early with that right hand. Kind of hooked Hood there as he's running that route.
Nine penalties for 93 yards. Tomlin steps up, lost it high in the air. Pass is caught there by the running back Logan Wright. They're going to say he dropped it, though. Couldn't hang on.
That's Catalon being able to break up that play again. They run Logan Wright on the wheel. Yeah, on the wheel route, and he's got to hold on to that football. I know he's exposed a little bit, and Catalon doesn't lead with the helmet. It's really a shoulder a little bit and a little bit of an elbow. A nice play, breaking that pass up to Logan Wright out of the backfield.
Jalen White bouncing around like a pinball. Pick up 3.5 on that. Second down carry. Now it's third down. 3rd and 7.
Power play. Jalen Wright able to keep those knees and feet driving in that situation. I want to call it manageable. It's at least long. It's over 5 yards to a long third down.
And compared to some of their third downs, this is pretty good.
False start, the whole left side of the offensive line. Now this is a regular third down for him.
Right.
Offense, number 51, 5-yard penalty, third down.
Get left guard Aaron Dow. That's the second one on him.
Georgia Southern 4 out of 15 on third downs. Arkansas 4 out of 11. Boy, Coach Lunsford, he has got to be frustrated with the way that they keep fighting themselves on the offensive side of the football today. 4-man rush. Tomlin steps up. That one is incomplete. Trying to hit Chase Hancock. Tomlin walloped again.
Dave, here on this pass, I don't know if this ball gets caught right there in that line of that sun. Hancock was only able to throw one hand up, and Georgia Southern kind of in no man's land as far as territory of the field. They're kind of forced to have to go for it here.
Tomlin, 4th and 12. Hood lifted in the air, right into triple coverage, can't hang on, and Georgia Southern gives it up on downs, and Tomlin has had a rough second half.
He's had a rough second half, and he's getting up slow again. That's the second time, yeah. Second time that the trainers have had to come out there and check on him. That would have been short if he caught it anyway, and of course, Jalen Catalon, that is around the football and making a play. Tomlin getting that left ankle looked at. He's really his own guy.
Well, they are running out of guys. Cam Ramson's already hurt. Sam Kennerson, a guy that's played some quarterback, they've moved him out to wide receiver. Amari Jones got hurt in the first quarter. They were basically listed him as their backup. He's done for the day.
And then you're talking about going into conference season next week.
Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, you got to start thinking about down the road. They get Louisiana, obviously a really, really good team in the Sun Belt. Coastal Carolina at the beginning of November. A.J. Green with that carry, picks up 6. This will do it for the third quarter, where Arkansas has stretched their lead out. They have doubled it since halftime. They lead it by 28. do run Malik Hornsby out late as we begin the fourth quarter. Great song by Luke Combs, South on Ya. And here comes Malik Hornsby off the right side. Flips over the 50 for the first down. That was interesting. They actually had KJ Jefferson halfway out to the numbers, and at the last moment brought him back and ran Malik out there. The freshman out of Missouri City, Texas, stays in the game. They're going to bring him to the near side. Boy, a huge collision. Dominique Johnson just took a knee. That was a big time. That was 18-wheeler on 18-wheeler. Oh.
It's just been quarterback keeper both times, and Dominique, he took the brunt of that lick. And you talk about Ben's, Josue being able to be the winner in that situation, and that's not something that you see very often, and it looks like he just got the wind knocked out of him. He's going to be able to get up, and that's exactly what happened. He got the wind knocked out of him, and normally he's the hammer and not the nail, and that time it was kind of vice versa.
Boy, you could hear that up here in our broadcast position. Whew. Well, here's Malik Hornsby. Top 10 dual threat quarterback coming out of high school a couple of years ago. Can really throw it. Needs to work on his accuracy, but coaches say it is something when he starts throwing deep balls.
When then you talk about quarterbacks, he weighs about 180, 190. KJ goes about 240, 245.
And Hornsby is dropped by guess who? Benz Josue. After taking the big hit from Dominique Johnson, comes up with a big play, a loss of 10.
Well, they take Hornsby out of the game, and here's a replay. Josue comes up and makes that play. He's not fooled one bit whether Hornsby was going to try to throw that ball, and now KJ Jefferson back into the game at quarterback.
Yeah, on a 3rd down and 16. Jefferson today has thrown for 366 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. A.J. Green trying to stretch it near side. Will turn the corner. He'll get close to the line to gain. They're going to spot him just inside the 40, and they're going to move the chains.
A.J. Green, you just see the speed. You see the speed and no one there in support as far as run support is concerned, and he picks up the first down.
Green stays in the game to the 35. Gain of about 5. Glenn on that stop for the Georgia Southern Eagles.
Flag on the play. Should be an illegal substitution.
On the defense. More than 11 on the field. It's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Second time that Georgia Southern has tried to run a guy off the field, and normally the refs will hold a ball if the offense subs, but the defense there got caught subbing, and illegal substitution.
Green inside handoff. Down to the 32-yard line, a couple of yards shy. Randy Wade with his 5th tackle for the Eagles. Gain of about 3.
This is that offensive line when they really try to take over a football game. You talk about running Myron Cunningham with a good block there. He's been called a couple times for negative plays. We'll show him a little love there when he makes a good block on against that defense of Georgia Southern.
Cunningham, team captain, played the most snaps on the team last year. Former JUCO All-American anchor on the left side of that line. Rocket Sanders will drive his way down to the 28. The new set of downs coming up after the 4-yard pickup.
Up front, they're just moving guys, and you talk about a smaller defensive front that you're going up against, and Kendall Browse taking a little time off that play clock going slow in this certain situation just because you have a 28-point lead. That offensive line just creating lanes for the running backs.
Rocket Sanders down to the 19-yard line. Give him 8.5, 9 on that carry.
And we know Stromberg is out, but I mean, it's just a nice job of just running that power and just being able to find the backside of it as far as the cut in the area to be able to go in. And so Ty Clary moving over to that center position, and they're just getting movement up front. And the backs are having enough patience to be able to find the lane and hit it. And this is the second time we've seen Hornsby come back into the game.
61st play of the game coming up right here as Hornsby hands it off. The Rocket Sanders cuts it back inside at the numbers, and he'll be inside the 10 as the first down. It'll be first and goal after another 12-yard pickup.
And I think that's the most impressive part of it when you look at it as far as this offense is concerned. Just when you look at it, when you look at the run game, 38 carries, 210 total yards, 5.5 average overall. But it's with different guys, and each one of them have a different skill set. When you look at the four main backs that they use and they run in there, they all do something a little bit different. And I think that is what makes this offense so special and unique.
A little underneath toss goes to Quaylen Crawford, and he is hit right as he got the football. That'll be a loss of 2 on the play.
There you're asking Smith or Rocket Sanders to be able to seal the edge. And just a really nice job defensively by Zion McGee to be able to make that play. He sees it right away as they send that motion across him. He's able to come up from that nickel or that anchor position defensively and make that tackle in the backfield.
So Hornsby will line up in that shotgun with A.J. Green in the backfield. He'll give it to number 0. Get it down to the 6-yard line, so it'll be third and goal from there. Justin Birdsong trips him up.
Some of those young offensive linemen, Jalen St. John in the game, as well as Luke Jones in the game as well for the Razorbacks.
Boy, they're just letting this clock tick as much as they possibly can. Play clock down to 9. Hornsby will keep it. Turns the corner, has some room, touchdown! Malik Hornsby. His first Arkansas touchdown is a 6-yard scamper.
Hornsby just as its quarterback keeper, and once he sees that he has the edge, two Georgia Southern players run into each other, and once he sees he has the edge, he's way too fast. I think that's the first touchdown of many for Malik Hornsby.
Like Tyler Bride is down around the 5-yard line, and you don't want to see anybody get injured, but that's a really big blow for Georgia Southern because he was stepping in place of Derek Canteen, who we talked about earlier, led the country in interceptions a year ago. He just had surgery this week. He's done for the year. Bride came in and played well in his replacement last week. Finished with 7 tackles, 3 behind the line, a couple of passes broken up. So depth in that secondary becoming a major issue now for Georgia Southern.
Definitely don't want to lose him as well, and hopefully it's something that he can shake off. This Georgia Southern team just going to be battling injuries before they have to get ready for next week's game.
So Malik Hornsby, welcome to the show. 6-yard touchdown run for the redshirt freshman.
Oh, good for me. What do you think? Geico.
In the swamp. Remember, the crowd was booing in the first half. Take that back. Vito Calvaruso will kick off this time for Arkansas. 45-10. Need to step aside one more time. Back in a moment.
At Burger King, we've banned 120 artificial ingredients from our food. We keep it real.
That's why I'm here.
That's why we dropped rap superstar Nelly.
Wait, what?
And chose the real you, Cornell Haynes Jr., to create your own custom meal.
How much they paying you for this?
Try the Cornell Haynes Jr. meal. Food so real, it's Cornell's, not Nelly's.
Los pros de hoy necesitan las herramientas de hoy. Y nadie entiende esto mejor que The Home Depot. Con las calculadoras para proyectos, evitas tener que adivinar y los viajes extras. Con entrega en tu lugar de trabajo, puedes enfocarte en la tarea. Y si no quieres comprar equipo, lo puedes alquilar. Así es como los pros de hoy hacen más. Nueva tecnología, nuevas herramientas, el trabajo de calidad de siempre. The Home Depot. Haces más, logras más.
Let's take a look at the MVP of the game, brought to you by Sports Clips. KJ Jefferson had a really good day today.
Nice job of throwing the football, being able to get the football to your playmakers. That's exactly what you thought KJ Jefferson would do this game to get himself some confidence as they go into conference play next week against Texas A&M.
Well, those are his numbers. Career high 366 through the air. It's the most yards by an Arkansas quarterback since Austin Allen went for 400 yards against Alabama in 2016. Arkansas, by the way, has also rushed for 220 yards today. They are averaging 9.1 yards per play. Cam Ranson in at quarterback now as Justin Tomlin has exited after just really the second half in particular just took some nasty shots.
That last one, it looked like that ankle, I don't know if he got stepped on or rolled up, but some nasty shots, some big shots that Arkansas defensive line has been getting after him all day, and Ken Ramsden himself playing on a bad ankle also.
Yeah, you know it's bad when you got to insert a guy that's limping around for another guy that limped off the field. Hand off. Jalen White hit big time at the 30-yard line. It's Saturday, time to represent your school and show us how big you're going today. Submit your best fan video this weekend to hashtag #ShowYourSaturday, and you might just get your 15 seconds of fan fame. Third down and 5. Georgia Southern, 221 yards of offense, 150 on the ground, 71 through the air. Ransom pass is caught for a first down. He goes to White out of the backfield.
Nice job of Ransom and White being able to connect on that first down play. Ransom just seeing him in the flat, being able to get it to him right away. Soft coverage by the Arkansas defense.
Jalen White will pick up a couple of yards on that carry.
Halfback dive just straight ahead. Try to get a little bit of movement up front for you. Gerald Green comes into the game for him.
Deion Edwards in at linebacker. Andrew Parker in there as well at linebacker. That one's off the hands of Gerald Green. Some ill-timed penalties by Georgia Southern is one thing they're going to look at in this game, and the other part of this is they got to catch the football. They got to help the guy out, right?
They got to, regardless of who the quarterback is. I mean, there's been some opportunities where I can understand if you're talking about just difficult catches, but some of these are just routine, typical catches, and that's one of the things that Coach Roos and Coach Longford are going to have to make sure that, hey, look, guys, we've got to catch the football. We've got to help our guys out.
Georgia Southern 13 for 27 through the air. Ransom has time to throw. Boy, Hood trying to make a great catch there. That time, Ransom just overthrew. That's the second time Ransom has missed an open Caleb Hood.
And that's for a touchdown there. I mean, that is for a touchdown. That's a blown coverage by Arkansas. It's covered too. And so the corner jams in, but I mean, the safety gets nowhere over the top, and Ransom, you can lob that football up and it goes and scores, but another incompletion.
No flag down as Anthony Beck was bumped to the turf. No flag. So we'll take a timeout. 5:37 to go.
Only at McDonald's.
Win last week against the Longhorns. The Arkansas Razorback Twitter handle had a little fun with the Longhorns, welcoming them to the league. Of course, that won't happen for a few years. Here comes Hornsby near side. He will break a tackle, get out to the 25-yard line. However, that was a fun night. But things get real serious now for Arkansas as they start things next week against Texas A&M. Then they're at Georgia, at Ole Miss, and then they wrap up that little 4-game swing with a date here in Fayetteville against Auburn.
Dave, is that what you call getting serious?
That is dead serious.
I agree with you. It's going to get real. It will get real, and you'll find out what type of team this Arkansas team truly is, particularly in the SEC.
Inside handoff. That one goes to Hunt. He'll pick up 11 yards. I'll tell you what, next week's shaping up to be an interesting game in Dallas between Arkansas and Texas A&M. Calzada for Texas A&M. They won 34-0 today, but he threw for 275 yards. Looks like he's kind of settled in a little bit. Taking over for Haynes King, who's going to be out for a while.
Yeah, Haynes King out at least to October, maybe late October. And so you talk about being able to go on the road, and it'll be an interesting matchup just because for Arkansas, it'll be their first road game. They've played their first 3 games here at home, and so for them to have to travel down to Arlington and take on that A&M team, it should be interesting.
John Stephen Jones in at quarterback, lofts it up, and that one is incomplete. He was trying to hit Bryce Stevens.
Got to put a little better touch on that football. He's on the run, particularly to his left, and so that's a hard throw to be able to make. You're moving, the receiver's moving. Defender coming up to try to make that tackle, and so Arkansas getting a chance to rotate and play a lot of guys at quarterback for them in this game.
608 yards of offense for Arkansas this afternoon. On second down, they will add to that total. Here goes Oglesby breaking a few tackles. He'll be just shy of the first down, but it's the first time Arkansas has gone over 600 yards of offense in a game since 2016. They put up 663 against Mississippi State back in November of 2016. Folks around here remember that game. 58-42 was the final score.
Well, Kendall Browse and probably could have had more yardage than that because like now they've slowed down from a going fast standpoint and just tried to milk some of that play clock and run the football for the most part here in this fourth quarter.
Alabama just held on to knock off Florida 31-29 down in the Swamp. A lot closer than many thought.
Georgia Southern defense still playing hard as both teams have rotated in some of their guys that may not get to play a lot. And if you're Georgia Southern, as far as a football program, I think I know Coach Lunsford talked about it, less talking and more action.
Yeah,
I think that's still the same statement. You go into conference play and, guys, this is some of the things that we have to be able to do if we want to get back to that brand of football that made us really, really good and a very respected program. They're just not doing it consistently enough yet. One of the things that you see, you have a lot of different guys flying around and flying to the football, but just not making mistakes and not hurting yourself as far as a unit is concerned. That's one of the things that they're going to have to kind of look at and try to evaluate and make sure that they're doing it and putting the right people in a position to make some plays, because they're a better football team than really what they've showed overall these first 3 games. Still trying to put it together.
Well, there's a lot to like through 3 games with this Arkansas team. Handoff goes to Hunt. He'll get it into Georgia Southern territory. Don't forget, coming up at 7:30 Eastern, Central Michigan taking on LSU. From down on the Bayou, SEC Saturday night matchup presented by T-Mobile. Some of the things that Sam Pittman told us, had a few errors at Texas. They wanted to get that cleaned up. Really need to clean up just some minor issues. I still think that they've got some things that some of these penalties, they can't afford down the next month of the season to have some of the things that happened to them today.
Well, I agree. After the play penalties, some late hits and things of that nature, and then holding penalties. Definitely can't have those when you talk about winning in some of those SEC games. And I think when you look at it overall, I think you can say, hey, look, we didn't turn the football over. I think that's one of the things when you look at it. KJ Jefferson had a couple of interceptions in those first 2 weeks of the games of the season. Didn't have one today, and so I think when you look at it from that standpoint, he had a clean game. But you go back, you look at the second quarter, Georgia Southern was able to hit him with a big run on a blitz, and then also when you talk about looking at it, tackling just really in the second quarter. But I think overall you have to be pleased with where this game was not a trap game for you. You came out and you competed and you were able to come away with a W.
On a 4th down play, Arkansas will pick up the first down, and that'll do it. So the Hogs are going to go to 3-0. They're going to accomplish their first 3-0 start since 2016. First time they've been in the top 25 since that season. And Sam Pittman will get his team focused as conference play opens up next weekend, and they win this one 45-10.
It's a good win for Arkansas. That's a good win for you're playing a Georgia Southern team that can give you some difficulties as far as with that offense that they run. But, for the most part, outside of a few runs, that defense, Barry Odom and his group did a really nice job of slowing down that spread veer option look that Georgia Southern likes to run. Georgia Southern, for themselves, they've got to get healthy. You talk about Amar Jones being banged up. You talk about Justin Tomlin being banged up, Cam Ramton being banged up. They've got to get some guys healthy. And then you already talk about as well some of those defensive backs that you ended up losing. Hopefully Bride is okay, and so we'll see how their season continues to progress.
So Arkansas goes to 3-0 under Sam Pittman. Texas A&M up next in Dallas. For Deuce McAllister, Andrea Carter, I'm Dave Neal saying so long from Reynolds Razorback Stadium. Off to SEC now. Peter Burns in the game.